This week's winter storm is bringing some pricey repairs. The I-Team explains why filing an insurance claim isn't always the right move. Plus, hundreds of layoffs at JPL, why the company says it had to let go of some employees. You're watching The Rundown. I'm Michelle Valles. We've seen days of rain, and now Baldwin Hills family is left cleaning up the mess on their own. Their insurance company says they are not covered for their storm damage. Several feet of mud rolled into their home on Sunday night while the family was away on vacation in Seattle. Matt Jewett took a flight out on Monday to tour the damage and contact their insurance. The company said they could file a claim, but that it would likely be rejected. Instead, Jewett is choosing to look at the silver lining.
We're safe, our boys are safe, and that's what matters, and we feel so grateful for the timing, because if it had been a week earlier or a week later.
Jewett says several boxes filled with special mementos were also dry and not damaged by the mud. A cliff near UC Santa Barbara is crumbling, and it's taking part of an apartment building with it. This happened on Tuesday. You can see the deck next to the cliff is falling apart. Students who live there initially had to evacuate. County engineers determined it's okay for them to go back into their apartment, but the patio is off limits. Here's a problem we've seen storm after storm, and it's happening again. New video shows Caltrans crews out filling potholes along the 10 freeway in Pomona. The CHP had to shut down the 10 for about a half hour or so crews could get at it. The freeway is back open, but you can expect plenty of potholes to pop up over the next few days, so please drive carefully. Many people are already dealing with trying to repair damage because of the storms, and that often starts with reaching out to your insurance company. The I-Team looked into how you can prepare yourself for those conversations. Investigative reporter Lolita Lopez explains.
What I'm telling everyone to do is stay present, stay safe, and there's a handful of things that they can do even right now if they haven't, to try and prepare as much as they can.
The I-Team speaking to Carl Sussman, an insurance professional with 3 decades under his belt. If you haven't done so already, he says turn off all sprinklers, park your car if you can in your garage or under a carport, and keep cell phones charged at all times. But what if the damage is already done?
Let's say you have some real damage to your home because of the storm. How should a homeowner go about filing a claim, and what should they expect in terms of the reaction from the insurance companies?
What I would expect is people to potentially be on hold if you're filing a claim on the phone. Try and file it online if you can. Be sure you get a claim number, and be prepared potentially to have to wait a little bit, because again, there's a lot of claims that are coming in.
He says most homeowners and renters insurance providers will take into account the magnitude of these recent storms.
You've probably heard me say, don't put in the small claims, don't put in the small claims. When you have an event like this, the insurance industry looks at this as what they call a CAT event, which stands for catastrophe. And when a catastrophe event happens, they don't tend to take that and consider that a claim against your record, let's put it that way, right? Now, every insurance carrier has their own definition of what they decide is a CAT event or not. I think it's a pretty safe bet that they're all going to look at this as a CAT event.
Which means you may not get dinged on your policy or have your premiums skyrocket. But even if you have major damage, it may not be covered, including this: mudslides and debris flows. According to the California Department of Insurance, homeowner policies generally exclude damages caused by mud flow, mudslide, debris flow, landslide, or other similar events. They say if you don't think you are covered by your homeowner's policy, look for special financial assistance programs from local or state governments. As for damage to cars, Sussman advises,
you would again want to file a claim with your insurance company. This would fall under what's called a comprehensive claim. So this is a claim that is going to have a deductible usually, and they're going to either repair the vehicle based on the damage, or they're going to replace it or give you the value of the vehicle more likely, depending on the type of policy that you have.
The skies are finally clearing. Let's check in with meteorologist Stephanie Olmo on how much rain we got this week.
Hello, everyone. As we check out here conditions, what we have seen so far, we have seen continuous rainfall across the area, rounds of wet weather. Downtown Los Angeles with this storm, we have picked up over 8.5 inches of rain, well surpassing the monthly average of just over 3.5 inches. Can you believe it? Check out here. This is the yearly average. We're actually talking about 14.25 inches of rain. So we have definitely made it quite up there. And as a matter of fact, including this storm, we've actually surpassed here the annual average with over 15 inches of rain so far this water year. Let's go over here the futurecast. So we have this burst of rain that's going to move out here as we head into Wednesday evening. We head into Thursday, and we're looking into sunshine. Some areas still looking at some snow across the area mountains, but looking a-okay for the most part. Of course, if you are heading out to the mountains, just be careful out there. Carry those chains with you, but it's best to avoid those mountain passes. Here's a look at the setup in terms of the temperatures for Santa Clarita as we continue here the rest of this week. Temperatures will be in the upper 50s, eventually warming into the 60s as we head into early next week.
JPL is laying off 530 people, 8% of its workforce. They'll get emails letting them know if they've been laid off or still have a job. JPL blamed budget cuts from NASA. Laid off employees will get their base pay and benefits for 60 days. New developments concerning that mid-air catastrophe aboard an Alaska Airlines flight headed to Ontario. Federal investigators now say bolts appear to have been missing from that door plug that blew off before the Boeing jet even took flight. You'll recall pilots had to make an emergency landing. 7 passengers and 1 flight attendant had minor injuries. Boeing released a statement saying they will continue to cooperate fully and transparently with the investigation. LA County supervisors approved a plan to spend nearly $800 million over the next year to help homeless people. The plan includes $662 million for homelessness prevention, housing, and services. There's $120 million to support Pathway Homes and other projects as well. Pathway Home gets people out of encampments and into interim housing. The budget also includes money to remove hundreds of RV encampments. The LA City Council has voted to eliminate so-called no-street vendor zones at some of the most popular tourist spots. In 2018, the city banned street vending in 7 areas like the Walk of Fame, Dodger Stadium, and Exposition Park. While the bans could lift, the city still could enact vending restrictions, but they would have to justify them with specific reasons. The move still requires a second vote and final approval from Mayor Bass. A Northern California cheese and dairy company is voluntarily recalling some of their products because of a listeria outbreak that allegedly dates back to 2014. You're looking at some of the more than 60 soft cheeses, sour cream, and yogurts that have been recalled. Now, new testing evidence led the CDC to Rizzo Lopez Foods in Modesto. Since the outbreak was first detected, at least 26 people in 11 states have been sick and 2 have died. The CDC says if you have these products, throw them out and clean your fridge thoroughly. Rappers Snoop Dogg and Master P plan to sue 2 retail giants over alleged cereal sabotage. The 2 business partners announced a lawsuit against cereal maker Post Foods and Walmart. Attorney Ben Crump alleges that Snoop's Fruity Hoops and Cinnamon Toasties and other products have been hidden from customers. Video appears to show boxes of them sitting on stockroom shelves. Meanwhile, Post brands, among others, remain on display out front.
That shelf space in any supermarket first is worth millions and it's very, very limited.
This one got my name on it and you can't find it.
This is about minority-owned companies getting a fair share.
Walmart responded to our request for comments, saying in part many factors affect the sales of any given product, including consumer demand, seasonality, and price, to name a few. We will respond as appropriate with the court once we are served with the complaint. Post says it was excited to partner with Brodus Foods, but also says, quote, "We were equally disappointed that consumer demand did not meet expectations." Dodgers fans will get to cheer on star pitcher Clayton Kershaw for at least one more season. Kershaw and the team agreed to a 1-year deal worth $17 million. This will be Kershaw's 17th season in Dodger blue, but don't expect to see him on the mound for a while. He's currently rehabbing his left shoulder that underwent surgery after this past season. He is expected to make his return sometime in August, right after the trade deadline. AMC Theaters is celebrating Black History Month with $5 movie tickets for 4 fan favorite films. And each celebrates Black culture and features Black filmmakers, writers, and actors. They are The Equalizer 3, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, The Color Purple, and Soul. AMC is also showing one movie each week, twice a day. Visit amctheaters.com for showtimes and tickets. And who needs a date when you can brighten someone's day instead? Children's Hospital LA is asking for Valentine's Day cards for their patients. Now, these aren't the cards you get at a store. These are free on the hospital's website. And there are 3 to choose from: an alien, a koala, or a unicorn. You pick the design, and then you can add a personalized message for a patient. They'll be printed and delivered to the kids in the hospital on Valentine's Day, along with a goodie bag, of course. The hospital also told us that an anonymous donor will give $1 for every card sent. We put a link on our website, NBCLA.com. Just search cards. A sweet pup is getting a lot of care and attention after she was trapped inside a shipping container for more than a week. This is Connie the container dog, and she is as gentle as can be. Somehow, Connie got stuck inside a shipping container at the Port of Houston. She was found by members of the U.S. Coast Guard. Look at that picture. Connie's rescuers say it was truly a miracle that they found her by chance.
And we went out to do random container inspections. Ryan was actually starting to bang on the containers, and then we would just hear a periodic, a little boof. You know, there's tens of thousands of a container moving on that yard at any point in time, and for us to find a dog that's due to be exported out.
The Coast Guard team still doesn't know how Connie ended up in the container, which they say came from a salvage yard. But the great news is that Connie is now at a pet rescue, and we're told there is a long list of families waiting to give her a loving home. You can always get news and weather updates on the NBCLA app and at our website, NBCLA.com. And be sure to tune in to Today in LA on NBC4 weekdays from 4 to 7 a.m. Thanks for watching The Rundown.